What's up, nerd family? Welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, aka Enosh Fett, and let me just say, what a privilege and an honor it is to have you with me in the lounge today. Not just you, but my very special guests, one making his first appearance here on the channel. Look, if this is your first time to the lounge, just know that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. It's a place where you and me and my group of friends and crew and people I don't even like sometimes can come on here and we could talk about the things that we love. Things like TV shows, movies, games, sci-fi, fantasy, comic books, superheroes, standing up for what's right no matter who says a thing, and so much more. And if those are things that you guys like, if those are things that get your blood flowing in the morning, even if you don't agree with me, if you don't agree with Ray Fisher, if you don't agree with other things, we are passionate about these things, ladies and gentlemen. And if you are passionate about those kind of things, then you have found the right place. And that's why you need to hit that subscribe button and that notifications bell so that you know when we put out new videos. You need to be subscribed. Don't put it off. Don't put it off till later. Like I said last night on the stream, don't think, well, you know, I'll come back later and subscribe to that channel. I liked what they were saying there. No. Do it now. Hit that subscribe button. You're right here. You're right now. You're thinking about it. I'm telling you to do it. Do it right now. Just trust me. If this is your first time and you've never been here and you're like, I don't know if I want to subscribe to this guy, you do. Trust me, you want to be here because we got a bright future, ladies and gentlemen. We're almost 10,000 subscribers and we want you to be a part of it. Now, we got lots to talk about, and I got another stream to do tonight. So we are going to jump right in. Obviously, we all, I think, know a lot of the stuff that's come up this last couple of days. More tweets, more information springing forth from the fruit of the vine that is one Ray Fisher. This divine, just wonderful man who is just slamming down his naysayers left and right. And we're going to get into that. And I have a panel of people to talk about this. Of course, always glad to have this guy in here. Ladies and gentlemen, I wouldn't do a stream without him. I mean, well, at least without what he represents. And of course, that is the truth. What's Truth 31. On? Welcome, sir.
Welcome. What's going on? You know, whenever Ray speaks the truth, you know, I gotta show up.
Heck yeah. So it's definitely good to have you. And a guy that I was on a stream. I made a show. Once we got off our stream, I got some stuff together and I was going to watch a show with my wife. And when I'm making food, I'm making popcorn or whatever for my wife. And I'm like checking to see who's live, right? I'm checking to see who's doing videos because we got some great friends who do videos. And I stumbled there upon the vodka stream. And there was this guy. I love this guy. I love his delivery. I love a lot of the things he was saying. He was just lighting it up. And of course, I got an invitation from Dave. And so, man, I hopped over there for a few minutes and I really liked what he had to say about this. And so I invited him here tonight, making his first appearance here in the lounge, Mr. Stephen Colbert.
Hey,
what's going on, man?
How's it going?
Plus, he's got a cool name. Yeah. What's up, Steven? Tell us a little bit about yourself for those who may not know you here on the channel.
Well, I mean, like you said, I show up on the vodka stream over on Dave Film Junkie's channel a lot. I don't have my own YouTube channel yet, so I tend to guest around there or Real Anarchy. Outside of that, you can find me at on Twitter, and I write and edit at screenrant.com, and I also co-host a couple podcasts, Batman v Superman by the minute, and also Justice League by the minute. We're getting spun up now, ready for Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Nice, very nice. I love it, man. And that's the first. You know, like I've met you a couple times, I've talked to you a couple times. I did not know that you wrote for Screen Rant.
Yeah.
That's really cool, man. That's really cool. It sounds like you're involved in just a lot of things, man. I tell you what, you come across very well, and I really like what you have to say. You got some great points, man, for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Real quick, I love your BVS by the minute. It's pretty awesome.
Thank you. It's a lot of fun. It's Dice and I would talk about it all the time to the point that we were like, you know what, we should just like record this and put it out instead of having this all happen behind the scenes. So we're just doing what we would be doing anyway.
Sure.
But now everyone else gets to enjoy it with us. So
yeah. So for those who may not know what that is, just give us a brief of what that is.
Yeah, we take Batman v Superman, the Ultimate Edition. I always have to clarify that for people because apparently people think that there's more than. But and we watch 1 minute at a time, and then we talk about that minute, 1 minute per episode. And I don't know if that would necessarily work for every movie in the world, but for Batman v Superman, there's just so much packed in there that we find often we go way longer than we wanted to go and have to edit it way down. every single minute, and even to the point that I've been identifying. I don't know if it's a conspiracy or not, but my going theory is that because Snyder got his start with music videos and specifically with commercials, I think he storyboards concepts and plans his movies in like 30-second or 1 minute chunks, because way more often, like you'd think a 1 minute at a time approach, you'd end up having like ending halfway through a conversation all the time or getting words cut off. But almost every single minute has its own like beginning, middle, and end, like thematic arc that we can talk about. Even if it's a part of something larger, they all break down to 1 minute, like gorgeously. And that was something we didn't even anticipate when we started it. So that's been super cool.
Yeah. Too, man, it is so full of, and just chock full of richness and goodness, and like you said, just the things that, like, I can't imagine. I gotta check it out. I've meant to check it out actually the last time I talked to you, and I haven't had a chance to yet because I think I went on vacation right after I talked to you, and I think it just kind of slipped my mind. See, that's why you got to do this stuff right away. That's why you got to subscribe right away and stuff, because there's like stuff that really interests you sometimes, and then you totally forget about it. It's like, oh yeah, dang it, I wanted to see that, because I can't imagine just like breaking that down and just kind of watching that. I mean, there's just got to be so many things that just jump out at you and catch your eye and your ear that you just weren't even thinking of before.
Yeah, I mean, it's 4 years later, and we've both watched it a ton and talked about it a ton, and we're still finding stuff that we never even noticed before. Man, it's awesome.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Well, guys, definitely jump over, support the Truth 31, subscribe to his channel. He needs all the subscribers he can get, and he is the truth. And so you definitely want to be on the truth side always.
Exactly.
And that's why we do what we do here. And then look for Steven's videos and the things that he's doing. And then also, once he gets that YouTube channel up and going, we want to support him too. We're all about supporting community here, and I love that. So quick shout out to a couple of people. I know there's a lot of people here, and we're not going to take a lot of time to go down like a roll call here, but I did know. What's up, William? William's a good guy. William's been with the channel, man, from way back. He's old school. I love William. William's awesome. I love you all, of course, but you know, William's always in here. And of course, accountability is greater than entertainment. And so I love what some of you guys are saying already. Borg Lives Matter. I stand with Ray Fisher. Absolutely. And then, of course, I want to say a shout out to Gavin. Gavin is from the UK, and he is one of our moderators. William's one of our moderators as well. But today is his birthday, and he says he got Smallville season 1 to 10 box set. So happy birthday, Gavin! Happy birthday! So all right, so that's all we're definitely will definitely talk about some of the things that people are talking about later. But I want to jump right into this because obviously yesterday. We know a lot of stuff went down yesterday. There's been this investigation, this third party investigation into, Ray Fisher's allegations against Warner Brothers and against Jeff Johns and John Berg and Joss Whedon. And so there's been a lot of speculation. And ever since this whole thing came out, like everybody's wanted answers, everybody's wanted to know. And so, I remember back when Ray first mentioned, and I thought it was interesting because he brought it up in his Instagram video about it. He even said, look, back when I first talked about this, when we first talked about the third party investigation, I even said back then, look, I want to vet these people. I want to know and make sure that whoever is working on this is on the up and up, and I'm not going to settle for anything less. And man, that just, for everybody who comes at me, and trust me, enough people come at me nowadays, because now I'm apparently the spokesperson or the foster child for, sometimes I feel like the foster child. Yeah. And I meant foster child, not the poster child, but that too. But for Ray Fisher and all things regarding this whole situation. But I feel like, for everybody who comes at me and gives me a hard time, and they're like, yeah, but you don't understand, Enosh. You just don't understand. Like, NDAs don't work that way. And they're getting their information from people that, they don't even know. They don't even have those answers. They're getting this information from other people who say, oh, that's not how this works. And that's not how that works. And so then they want to run with it because, look, the reality is I think there's just a lot of people that they don't want to think that they're heroes could have possibly made some mistakes or done some things wrong. Sure. And the reality is we don't know people. Like, you guys watch this show and I try to be a nice guy. I try to be who I am, but you guys don't see me on a daily basis. You don't see me at home around my house, and like when we watch people on something, watch people's videos, watch people's movies, watch people, act in movies, we're getting characters, and so we don't always see, and sometimes it's shocking to hear what goes on behind the scenes.
Right.
And so, you know, Ray, though, what I love about Ray is he's been very consistent with what he says. He has not wavered. And he's taking chances with literally everything. I mean, he's all in, folks. There's no coming back from some of the things that he has said, especially now going after specific people, executives. The higher up it goes, he just keeps going. And you can't shut him up. You know, I mean, every time they try to shut him up and try to diminish him, and that's what happened yesterday. Was Warner Brothers released a statement, and so we're gonna look at that. And I just pulled up the first one that I saw. Because it's the same story here. So, but I just kind of want to read for those of you who are loosely following this. It says in a statement Friday night, Warner Brothers rebuffed claims made earlier today by Justice League actor Ray Fisher about DC Films president Walter Hamada. Now he had put out, you know, a tweet yesterday talking about how he didn't mention Walter Hamada by name, but he said the president of DC Films, which is Walter Hamada. Right? I mean, so I love the way that he does this. You know, I tell you what, man, Ray sometimes does things exactly the way my grandmother used to do stuff, like and tell me about like how to take care. Like I wonder, like if there's like you know, I don't know his situation. I don't know if his grandma's alive or like his mom, you know, or how old she is. But like I wonder if he's like getting some of this information from like somebody kind of older in his life saying, honey, now you deal with this in this way. You shut up those naysayers in this way or that way, because this is exactly the kind of stuff my grandma used to tell me how to handle stuff. So he didn't call Walter Hamada by name, but he obviously outed Walter. And then, you know, he said that Walter basically, you know, offered, yeah, we'll throw Joss Whedon under the bus, we'll throw John Berg under the bus. Just don't go after Jeff Johns. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But basically, Ray said, yeah, a fat chance on that. I'm going to go after whoever I need to go after, and I'm going to tell the truth. And so Warner Brothers came back saying that this wasn't so. It says the company also said that the actor has so far refused to cooperate with an independent investigation into the misconduct charges he has leveled against several key figures involved in the film. In July, Fisher, who played Cyborg in the DC Comics character-based film, publicly accused the film director Joss Whedon of rude, abusive, unprofessional behavior on set. Fisher also said Whedon's behavior was activated by DC Entertainment president and creator director Jeff Johns and by John Berg, former co-president of production at Warner Brothers. Berg left the company in December 2017 as part of a restructuring, while Johns resigned 7 months later. So that's the gist of what started this. Was Warner Brothers came out last night, said, nope. In fact, not only is this not true, but he's not only lying about this, but he has not cooperated with us or with the investigation and all this stuff that's gone on. Now, Stephen, you had a lot of great points last night. Before we go on to what happened today, what were your thoughts when you read that yesterday?
There's, I think, a couple things that were really interesting about this statement. I always read sort of the tone or the intent of the statement. And so if you look at what Ray had said up to that point, the accusations that he'd made, he used a lot of specific words, and he leveled them by name at Joss Whedon, John Berg, and Jeff Johns. And it was, I don't remember the whole list, but it was gross, unprofessional, abusive on-set behavior, etc. And then John Berg replied pretty quickly and denied all of it, and then was like, but I do remember he had an issue with this booyah line that he didn't want to say.
Yeah.
Which if you a lot of people are, I don't know if they're not paying attention or if they just don't see don't connect the dots in the same way that I do, but Ray has been very meticulous about laying out this whole thing, because before he even made that initial claim, he had done several interviews where he talked extensively about the work that he did on the script and with Chris Terrio, and what the intent of that work was, and that it was to provide proper representation for Victor and for the whole Stone family, and that it was written from the perspective of a black man and not Terrio trying to guess what it's like to grow up that way. And so that was kind of at the core of the script, and Snyder and Terrio worked very closely with him on that. Now, having said that, Ray didn't make any of that a part of what he what he accused anybody of. That's just kind of background that he had established in the first place.
Yeah.
But we do know that all of that got erased. I mean, I don't see any of that in the script, and we know that he was the heart of the movie, according to Snyder. You know, that all got drastically changed and cut out from the movie. And so then once he starts making these claims, though, he's talking about on-set behavior and he's talking about the way people were treated. And then Berg comes out and he's like, well, he had this issue with the script that wasn't fixed. And then Warner Brothers did the same thing. They're like, well, we told him that there's creative differences on set and you need to work those out with the writer and the director, which ironically, like, the director had been fired and replaced by Whedon. So,
wait, what? He wasn't fired. He just stepped down and he brought on his good friend Joss Whedon to replace
Exactly.
him.
Right. Hey, bud.
Aw.
And so there's a right. Hey guys, Shepard's gonna join me for a second.
What's up,
Hello.
Shepard?
And so what happened next then was when they came out with their response to him, they didn't talk about, like, Warner Brothers' statement last night. They didn't talk about abusive on-set behavior. They didn't talk about Johns and Berg enabling it. They didn't talk about the people abusing their authority during a merger with AT&T and taking advantage of the situation or refusing to delay it in order to get bonus. They didn't talk about any of that. They said, we had to explain to him that there are creative differences in the movie and that should be settled on set. And that's typical. And then they said, after that, that he refused to cooperate with any investigators that they tried to put in place. Okay, I'm gonna get mobbed by Chuck. So I got like 2 seconds here, and then I got to jump probably. But so they're characterizing him as uncooperative and as inexperienced and immature in his handling of the whole thing, and which I think that Ray kind of baited that intentionally. I think that he put out the tweet yesterday naming Walter Hamada, knowing that it would result in a statement of this nature, and then today he had that screenshot ready to go to say, hey, you're fine. They had the screenshot ready to go to say, hey, look, no, I was cooperative. They're just not giving the hey, you guys just don't want me to be on the show, do you? Okay, and now you're crying right into the mic. Okay, well, so that's basically the gist of that. All right.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
And so they're diminishing his claims without actually addressing what the issue is. I think the biggest takeaway is that Ray knows what he's doing. He primed the story of his work on the script ahead of time. He primed, he baited them into coming out with that statement so that he could respond to be like, nope, look, this is why I didn't cooperate with the investigators. It's a game of chess, and it's a long game that Ray is playing. And so anyone who's going to characterize it as him not thinking about what he's tweeting or just, being irrational or whatever with the way he's approaching it, I don't think is quite paying attention to kind of how meticulous he is and careful with not only what he tweets and when, but the words that he uses when he does so.
Yeah.
So
no, I totally agree, man. That's so true, because you can tell that he's meticulously choosing what he says before he says it. And like you said,
being smart about it.
being so smart about it.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's kind of the difference between speaking your mind, planning out what you're going to do, and people who just like shoot from the hip and they're just like emotionally charged and they just emotionally go off. And like you said, trying to explain everything away. Warner Brothers has been on the defense of all this. They're like, oh, like you said, there's like, oh no, we had to explain to him this and that and blah, 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 It reminds me about something that happened to me about a month or so ago. Like where I was trying to come out and make, realistic statements, and other people were just shooting from the hip and, just saying a bunch of junk. And that's what happens is that it looks very unprofessional on Warner Brothers' part. I thought it was amazing because I hadn't even thought, Stephen, about what you said last night about the fact that, Ray had written for his character. I had forgotten completely about that. That's huge. That's a huge part of it. And then like to take that away and everything. I mean, that's interesting. Truth. What were your first thoughts when you saw that yesterday?
Well, it's always a good thing, is you should always believe a $1 billion corporation when they tell you something. Just like, come on, man. Like I read this statement and it's like like who actually believed that is what I want to know. Who actually believed Warner Brothers? Like, oh yeah, they put out this statement. It was like, well, it sounds factual. Warner Brothers would never lie to its fans, to its audience. So yeah, I believe it sounds good. I was like, come on, bro. And I love how Ray posted his tweet. He actually posted the date and the time when they accused him of that was a brilliant move by Ray Fisher to do that, because he automatically just shut that shit down. Excuse my language. He was like, yeah, what are you gonna say now, huh? What are you gonna say? I got the evidence right here. So it's just like, come on, it's a BS tactic from Warner Brothers. We all know it. We all saw it coming. And look, I get it. If I was part of Warner Brothers, you have to do something. You have to fight back, because you don't want to look like the a-hole company. But it's just like, but the fact of the matter is, you messed up. This is all your fault. We're in this position because of you. So what do you expect us to do? What do you expect Ray Fisher to do?
And I don't know if this would be being the devil's advocate, or if it's just being practical. But to like remove ethics from it, I would say it is Warner Brothers' responsibility to minimize the damage from this. I mean, like, we're all going to say, like, the right thing to do is to come out and tell the truth and make amends and all that stuff.
Sure.
But they're not going to do that. They're going to drag their feet as long as possible. And what they are going to do is whatever the thing is that causes the minimal damage to their brand, and like maximizes what they can get out of the situation. And that's just a cold business fact. And so they're working with a entirely different paradigm than Ray is. And so they probably thought, especially with that statement, that they were firing a shot across his bow for his career. But he doesn't care about his career, right? Or he's in negotiations for the Flash. Maybe they've threatened to take that away from him for to show up in the Flash movie. He doesn't care if he shows up in the Flash or not. In fact, he's probably even using John as leverage on that and saying, I'm not going to be in that movie unless John is off as producer. I'm not. I've seen conflicting stuff as to whether or not John is producing it or not. But and normally, like, business as usual in Hollywood, that all works. You can give someone a role, or take a role away from someone, or give someone good press or give someone bad press, and get them to behave in the way that you want them to, because this is their life, this is their dream. And I'm sure Ray would love to be Cyborg a lot more times and be in a lot of other movies a lot more times. But also, he is comfortable eating ramen and streaming on Twitch,
right?
and he could do that for the rest of his life with what he made from Justice League.
Yeah. And I love that's what I love about this story, because look, this is not just about somebody. And we talked a little bit about it on our stream last night. Well, our whole stream last night was about the John Boyega versus the Ray Fisher's thing and how it differs. And then I know when I jumped on the Vodka stream, you and I, had a conversation about that whole thing. And there's just a difference. There's a difference in just saying, well, I was told I was going to be a bigger star or be a bigger part of the movie and stuff like that, and then complaining about that and saying, well, I was done wrong. But he's not just saying that. He's talking about others. He's defending others. He's saying, look, there's other people involved. We're putting that case together. We're putting everything together, and we're going to go forward. And he's more concerned about that. And he's literally willing to just totally just risk everything, to be able to make those decisions and to be able to do what he's got to do. And I just love that. I love the fact that he's willing to take those chances and be there. And so I know that you got a lot going on, Steven. You mentioned you still got to bounce.
Yeah. I gotta jump out.
Okay. Well, hey man, I love your insight. Just having you here for a few minutes, man, was just amazing. I'd love to have you here for a whole episode. I understand. I got kids. I understand how that goes, man. I got 3 boys, and fortunately they're at the older ages now where I can just say, get out of here, kids, because they're 14, 15, and 18. Hey, man,
they don't listen.
Right.
Yeah.
So I totally understand, man. But everybody here loved your kids. So
they're adorable.
I got no problem with that. So, hey, man, thank you, Steven,
thanks
for being on tonight. And you're always welcome here in the lounge.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, thanks, guys. We'll see you later.
All right, man. We'll see you later. All right. So I do want to address a couple of things here, Truth.
What's up?
Because, my good buddy in the chat, Andrew Casali. Look, I love you, Andrew. I just don't think that you're understanding the situation, because we're going to get into what happened today. But he says, if Josh was abusive, why did he compliment him at Comic-Con before the movie came out?
PR.
Yeah. Did you watch that video? Because dude, if you watch the video, it's pretty obvious. Like, he's trying to save face. He's trying to go, like, that is the point where you can see that Ray Fisher was trying to play the game.
Yeah.
He was trying to put on a happy face. He was trying to be there for everybody and try to say, look, this movie still has to come out. He's not going to drop a bomb at that point when the movie was getting ready to come out, you know, right after that, and say, no, all this stuff happened and totally ruin the movie. He was trying to put on that happy face. And I love, because Chan Thorpe right underneath him just said, hey, did you see the compliment? Jason looked like he was going to die. And that's the truth, man. You watch that video over and over and over and over again, and it's very obvious. And that's why Ray started this whole thing with that video.
Yeah.
Because he owned up to even his own mistake of starting it. And that's what he said. He said, I want to, what was the word he used, Truth? He said something like, I want to, like, wasn't vehemently, but it's like, just like,
I think it was forcefully.
Forcefully, yes. I want to forcefully retract everything about this statement, is what he said.
Yeah.
And
that was like a holy crap moment. I was like, wow.
that was him basically starting off and just saying, look, I'm going to start this whole thing off, but you guys are going to understand, like, yes, I made a mistake back then by trying to go along, play the game, be you know, along with everybody else, and do this, you know, do like everybody else is doing, smile, because that's what Hollywood does.
Yeah.
Right. Everybody in Hollywood do. Truth, I once recorded an album. That was the first album that I ever recorded by myself. I played everything, and like on the album, I produced the album, like I wrote the whole album, I did everything, and so it was the first thing. I was really proud of it, and because of people like that who go around and like kiss each other's butts and kiss up to each other and say how awesome it was to work with this person and that person or whatever, I put a track on there called Who Did What. And basically my buddy, like in the track, he's interviewing me like for the release of the album. And he's like, hey, Enosh, so I know you worked with a lot of great people on this album. Like, can you talk about that a little bit? And I'm like, oh yeah, man, it was really great. Like, a lot of, I brought in a great producer, Enosh V, you know, Enosh, he's like, yeah, I know Enosh. I'm like, yeah, he was so cool to work with, because like his mind just thinks in ways that mine doesn't think. So when I would get stumped, Enosh would just come in and like totally just take over. And his vision for this album, just our visions just totally melded right together. And he's like, oh really? He's like, that's awesome. He's like, well, tell us also about some of the musicians on the album. I know you got a lot of different musicians on the album. I said, yeah. I said, well, you know, I play guitar. I said, so, I play guitar and I sing and stuff. I said, but I wanted to spread out the love. So I got another guitar player. I got guitar player Enosh V to come in, and he played guitar on this album. And I mean, my goodness, he was just the things that the tasty licks that he was putting down on these tracks, man, were just fantastic. He's like, yeah, I said, dude, I'll talk about the groove, man. I'll tell you what, I got bass player Enosh V. You might have heard of him. I got him to come in and lay down the groove, man. And he worked so well. The rhythm section on this album was so tight because as you know, Enosh V played drums on this album. And so, man, when Enosh got together in the studio, they were like, I mean, they were just like that, man. It was like they were tight. It was like they were functioning as one being. And then there were some keyboard, parts in there that Enosh Fee, I believe, is his last name. He doesn't do a lot on the album, but he did a little bit. And then I had a whole slew of background singers, Enosh Fee and Enosh, he just goes by one name, and then another guy named Enosh Fee. And so, like, dude, by the time it was done, it was awesome, because it was a great experience to just be able to walk into the studio and just sing. That's how people in Hollywood sound. They kiss each other's butts, because you can't believe any of that stuff, because
all the time,
my gosh, everybody is just always like, oh, it was so great to work with this person, and oh, they're so fabulous, and because they want to make money.
Exactly.
Right. That's what they want to do, Truth. Like, they want to make money. And so they're going to hype up the albums or the movies, or the TV shows that they make, because nobody's going to go in and say this thing sucked from the minute that I walked on set. Like the worst movies that you could think of, Truth.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard anybody just come out and go, yeah, this movie's going to suck. You're probably not going to want to see it.
Yeah, never. On the rarest occasion, like a big star, like a Brad Pitt, or Tom Cruise, you'd be like, yeah, this wasn't my finest piece of work that I did.
But usually they wait till after.
Yeah. And
like
also, if you want proof, look at the Justice League cast interviews leading up to promote the movie. They all look like they want to die. Like you could like look at Ben Affleck and he's like, man, I just want a bottle of scotch right now. Just get me out of here, please. Like, and the way that Ray Fisher, when I think it was at Comic-Con, he said, yeah, Joss Whedon came in and he did a great job, and he it looks like it physically hurt him to say that. And now we know why, because Joss was an abusive a-hole. And just, again, it, like you said, it's playing the game, like kissing babies, hugging the girls, like, oh yeah, we all love each other, we all want hugs and kisses and all that BS. And it's like, come on, man. Like, well, we get it, we know it.
And yeah, Andrew, he did. He complimented his abuser, because you know what? When people put this fear in you, okay. And if this kind of stuff was going down, that he was being threatened with his livelihood, other people were being threatened with their livelihood, of the possibility of things being taken away, of all these movies and stuff. When you have everything on the line, I tell you what, everybody wants to think that I just jump right in and just tell them off right then. I would have stood up at Comic-Con and just told them, oh, Joss Whedon is doing this and that to us. No, because you can't. No. When you are faced, ladies and gentlemen, with your livelihood, it's one thing to just have an opinion. Yeah. But when you know that people of power can do things to you, it's not so easy. It's not so easy to just say, well, I just do whatever. So that's that. So that's that. Mark Hamill did, you know what? Did he though? I still have this conversation with a lot of people, because you know what? Mark Hamill is such a troll. I love Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill trolled fans for months about The Last Jedi, about Rise of Skywalker. He trolled fans for months, literally. And like, I know there's a lot of things that are attributed to Mark Hamill saying, and a lot of people made videos saying, see what Mark Hamill said? And then you'd watch the video and go, what did he say? Oh, it's right there. Mark Hamill said it. And
well, I know he wasn't happy about his portrayal of Luke Skywalker, right? It wasn't like,
people said that. Well, he said at the beginning, he did come out and he said, you know what, when we started this whole thing, he said, I disagreed with Ryan as to where Luke Skywalker would be 30 years later.
Right.
That's all he said. He said, me and Ryan disagreed. He said, we kind of went at it about that a little bit. He said, but then I saw what Ryan was doing. He says, and then I backed off of that and said, you know what? This is Ryan's story to tell. This isn't my version of what Luke Skywalker is. But you don't hear that part reported a lot. And I know that there's a lot of people in the chat, like, you may not like that statement. You know what I mean? So, and
I would never expect Mark Hamill to be like, yeah, Ryan sucks. This movie sucks. Yeah, I would never want to work with him again. Like you say, he just disagreed. It was like, hey, I would have liked my character to go this way, but okay, it's your movie, it's your story. You're the boss.
So, Andrew, here, dude, I'm not telling you to stop talking. I'm not telling you to stop talking. I addressed your comment. That's the thing. I'm fine with you making comments, man. Dude, that's what we're all here for, brother. We're all here for. Nobody's mad at you, man. Don't think anybody's mad at you. It's just that you direct a comment towards me, like in my chat, dude. Like, or when I bring you on here, when we've talked, on the call-in things, man. If you say something, I'm just going to give my rebuttal. That's all. Yeah. That's all. And so that's my answer to that is to say that, that he complimented his accuser or his abuser. There's lots of people, dude, in abusive relationships, in abusive situations. And that, they act like everything's fine and they compliment their abusers and they
it's like normal habit to them. It's just like, this is my life.
And look, Mark Hamill might have been upset. Mark Hamill might have been very, very upset. But I just know in everything that came out after that, because I think he saw what the fans were using that towards. The people who really hated the movie, they were really using that to say, see, look, even Mark hates it. And like Mark had come out and said for a long time then, like I got over it. You know, I mean, like Mark wasn't leading charges, you know, to take down Star Wars, you know, and like I think Mark realized that a lot of people were using his words because he just voiced his opinion, and everybody's got an opinion, you know what I mean? Like everybody's got an opinion, and everybody's entitled to an opinion. Like that, and that's what the Point Extra Lounge is all about, baby. It's all about opinions, man. We all can have our opinions, different perspectives, different ways of looking stuff. Yeah. So Andrew, good man. He says, okay, good. I thought you got annoyed on what I said. And no, dude. No. We're all good, brother. We're all good. Yeah. We're all good. I love you all. So don't worry about it.
Nothing but love for you.
Nothing but love. So, but what I do want to share, I do want to bring in here. I want to bring in here then what the answer to this was, because that was yesterday. What a difference a day can make, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I would say. What a difference a day can make, because there was a time where there seemed to be weeks between these answers, Truth. There was a day when there would be like Ray would say something, somebody else would say something, and then there'd be like weeks and we wouldn't hear from Ray. Right? Ray kept very quiet. Look, during that whole Jody, Andy Signore thing, I love the fact that Ray has never once addressed them.
Yeah, and that's what Jody and Andy wanted. Just exactly. Like, please just look at my comments.
Oh, I know. It was just so bad, so bad. But guess what, guys? He never even gave you the time of day.
Mm-hmm.
Take that one, put that one in your pipe, and smoke it. But you know what? He didn't give them the time of the day, but he did do this.
Yeah, you already know. Accountability is greater than entertainment. For sure it is. Poindexter Lounge, I see you out there, player. I see you. Keep up the good work. Keep doing what you do.
Heck yeah, and that's what we do. We keep doing what we do because we stand for what's right, no matter what side of the table you're on. I think we lost Truth for a minute. But hey, so as soon as Truth comes back, here he is. Look at that. You try to get rid of the Truth and the Truth pops right back up.
Sorry about that. It was probably Andy trying to cut my streak.
I know, right? He's probably like, stop what? Talking. What? They're out there somewhere. Like, what was said? What was said? Oh my gosh. They said our name. Okay. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. But it's the battle of the cutouts behind Enosh. So here's the thing. Before I post this, so I actually have a Darth Vader cutout as well. But the thing is like I had the Superman cutout there, and the Boba Fett one was in my kitchen because I put them both in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because the Boba Fett one was hiding out behind the hutch in the kitchen from when I got it, and I hadn't put him out yet, and so I put him out there, and so I had Superman and Boba Fett in the kitchen. That's the kind of house we have, ladies and gentlemen. That's the kind of house that we have. We live what we live.
A glorious house.
Absolutely. It's a glorious house. And so the funny thing was that my wife got tired of getting scared as she came down every morning to make her coffee, like, because, you know, they're just sitting back there. So I had brought Henry in here, but I left Boba out there in the kitchen. And so I was literally coming into stream. I've been gone all day, came into stream, and Boba was standing there, and I was just like,
yeah,
I'm not going to take him down. We'll leave him up. So there you go. Exactly. We're mic and dropping all over the place. All right. So, but we are going to share this because, like I said, it had been like a lot of back and forth, man, like with this stuff, but like it seemed to take a while to actually get to the nitty gritty. But today, folks, and I love that, today, the man answered. Oh my gosh. And it was such a glorious answer, Truth.
Yeah.
Truth, now, did you see this today when it happened?
Yeah, I saw it. It was beautiful. I was just like, yes. Because you know all the trolls were going to come out like, oh, okay, well, what's he going to say? And then he drops this. It's like, yeah, what are you going to say now, huh? Oh, nothing. Shut your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. Uh-oh. I think I lost my, what happened here?
Uh-oh.
Oh, dang it. I lost all my, hold on a second. No, wait, I didn't. Wait, where am I? Okay. The heck is going on? Oh, I thought I lost all my, I had a bunch of open things here. Now I feel like I'm doing a show like
Max.
or something. Like, where the heck is my stuff? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Where
okay.
am I?
All right, so here it is. Because I gotta, to be able to like scroll it and stuff, I gotta be able to find it. And so I was like, where the heck did it go? And then like all of a sudden it all shut down. And I was like, what in the world happened here? Okay. All right. We're on track, folks. Don't worry. We're running a professional show here. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about us. We got this going. We got this. We got it. All right. So today Ray tweets this out, and I loved it. So I'm gonna put this up. I think you guys can all see it. That's the same. So I'll leave us up. Okay. Yep. So he says here today in his tweet, he says, and I don't even have the second tweet, I don't think. Or was the second tweet just yeah, second tweet was just the post. Okay. So he says, thank you for all of your support and seeing through at Warner Brothers Pictures. Now, you got to remember, folks, that there's a difference between the Warner Brothers companies. Okay.
Yeah, it's Warner Brothers and Warner Media.
That's right. There's Warner Media. There's Warner Brothers Pictures. And Warner Brothers Pictures are the ones who came out against Ray.
Yeah.
Right. So AT&T didn't come out against Ray. Everybody's like, oh, he's going to ruin this for the Snyder Cut. No, he's not.
No,
no, he's not. These are different
entities.
Yes, and yes, Jack. He's definitely making some G moves down here. Heck yeah, he is. Heck yeah, he is. All right. So he says, thank you for all the support and for seeing through Warner Brothers Pictures' desperate and scattershot attempt to discredit me to continue protecting those in power. And then he lays it out, Truth.
Yeah.
He just says, I met with the investigator via Zoom on August 26th. Like you said, gives the date.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that. Gives the date. Says, I met with him on the 26th. He says, below is an email I sent to my team and even tags his team.
He has the receipts.
Oh, see, here's the problem. Like he went to the store. He not only got what he needed, but he saved the receipt for later because you never know. He's like my grandma. You just never know when you're going to need that receipt, honey. So you hold on to that receipt, baby. You don't get rid of that. And so he says, I sent it to my team, tags his team immediately after he says, oh my God.
So good. So good. And Ray Fisher was smart enough to keep the receipts because he knew like people were going to question him, be like, oh, this is BS, Ray. He's just talking out of his butt again. And he's like, nope, here you go. Here's the proof.
and then here it is. Like it's dated August 26th, 2020 at 12:49 p.m. Come on, guys. All anybody out there who's going to tell me that it's a losing game for Mr. Ray Fisher. I'm just sorry. I don't understand how you can see this and like not realize that this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Or still calling him a liar. It's just like, are you delusional or
both?
You just hate this guy? Yeah, exactly.
My wife would say, are you crazy or both? Like, I'm come on. Like, so this is what he says. This is exactly what he sent to his people. He says, hey crew, just got off the line with the investigator. Had to end the interview early before going into detail with him. He's definitely been put on the case by Warner Brothers Pictures, not Warner Media.
Very important.
Very important. Now remember when Ray that very video that he called out Poindexter Lounge in.
Yeah,
it's the very same video, folks, that he put on Instagram. And what did he say in that? If you haven't heard it, I'll spell it out for you. He said, "Look, we got a third-party investigation going on." He says, "But even that, you need to make sure that you know who you're working with. Make sure that you know who you're dealing with, and that they're on the up and up." And that's all he said about it. And that's what he's doing here. And he says he's telling his crew, his attorneys, his people, that's what you do, folks. That's what you do. When you're putting something like this together, you don't just go, "Oh, okay. So you're the investigator and you have questions for me. I will answer anything that you have to say. Ask me, and I will totally go along with everything." No, because that's why you have counsel.
Yeah.
For anybody saying that that's stupid or that's like somehow a sign of him not taking responsibility or like Warner Brothers said, not cooperating, That's delusional.
You might be on the spectrum.
I mean, seriously, if you're in a legal battle with people and your attorneys aren't there and the attorneys for the other side start questioning you, what do they say? Have you not watched enough lawyer shows? Come on, do we have to watch
Law and Order?
Law and Order? Dun dun. Right. Come on, like let's get Law and Order in here, baby. Because like, come on, that's 101 right there, Truth. Like you don't talk and basic criminals know that, man, when they're getting arrested. And they're like, you have the right to an attorney. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. And they're like, I ain't saying nothing to my attorney.
Exactly.
Gets here. That's why you have an attorney, Truth. Like
I don't know why people don't understand this. Like, what is so hard to understand? It's like, I don't get it.
I mean, come on. You know, but the thing is I mean, that I just, yes.
It's
Ray is my grandma.
Yeah.
Ray is my grandma. Well, hold on, Kelvin, because this is what we're talking about. And this is what we're going to get to. It's not that this is the proof. This is the proof that he had this conversation. And here's the thing is Ray has been consistent.
Yeah.
This is my point about why I stand behind Ray Fisher. It's not because I know all the evidence yet. It's because up to this point, Ray has been the only one who's been consistent, hasn't rattled off at the mouth, hasn't just said a bunch of stuff, but has been pinpoint accurate in the things that he has said, the things that he has revealed, and he continues to do so. And that's why...
And he will continue to do so.
Yes. I love this. I love this.
3D chess.
That's awesome. That's an awesome statement too, dude. Yeah, I mean, right? Like Ray produced the receipts of saying, look, because he's not answering. He's not answering that this is my evidence for everything that I've said. That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying, Kelvin. And nobody's making that statement. Oh, look, this is evidence for you know what Jeff Johns did and what these people did. He's addressing this morning a specific accusation against him.
Yeah.
Warner Brothers Pictures accused him of not cooperating with the investigation. That was to tarnish his statements.
His credibility, too.
His credibility. They wanted to attack his credibility so that people would stop believing him. Well, what? Ray, are you telling me Ray Fisher made all this stuff up and then he's not willing to cooperate? Oh, that shows me that obviously he doesn't have anything, right? Because that's the first place truth that our mind goes to, right? Like when I first saw it, I was like, I'll be honest with you. Even I said, man, I wonder what that's all about. You know what I mean? Like my heart sank a little bit because I'm thinking like, Ray, what are you doing, man? Like, this is what you were wanting, right? Like, this is what you wanted. Like, what's the deal? But guys, here's the thing that this is all about, Kelvin and others. It's not about the evidence for the trial in the public court, right?
Yeah.
Or what may come later, because I even saw a tweet yesterday that said, look, you know what? They could go back and forth. And even if the investigation doesn't work, you know what'll happen next? Ray will keep pushing this until they actually go to court.
That's true.
Okay. And then you can let all the evidence come out in court, right? Right now it's a third party investigation, truth, but later it could be something a whole lot more.
And I don't think Warner Brothers wants any of that smoke.
No.
They got to settle that before it even escalates to that.
Yeah. And so the thing is that this is not his proof for that. This is his proof to say Warner Brothers Pictures were deceitful in their claim that I did not cooperate. And truth to use what kind of you just used, where there's smoke,
there's fire.
There's fire. And if you catch somebody with that, and you catch Warner Brothers Pictures trying to put out in public opinion that maybe Ray is not doing what he's supposed to be doing and is not taking this the way he's supposed to be doing and not cooperating. Oh, you try to get enough people to think, oh, like, dude, even one of my friends, texted me this morning and said, oh man, did you see what Warner Brothers said about Ray, that he's not cooperating? I'm like, did you see what Ray tweeted?
It's total BS.
Right?
Don't believe it.
Heck yeah, geeks. I stand with Ray Fisher. because look what the rest of this says. He says that he basically said that the investigator, he's definitely been put on the case by Warner Brothers Media, by Warner Brothers Pictures, not Warner Media. His findings will go directly and solely to Warner Brothers Pictures legal.
Yeah.
His problem is with Warner Brothers Pictures legal. That kind of defeats the whole point of having a third party, doesn't it? You know what that's like, ladies and gentlemen? That's like what I've said many times. Anybody who's a YouTuber and you've ever had a copyright claim done on your channel, you know how a copyright claim works? Truth, have you ever had a copyright claim on your channel?
Nope.
So here's how copyright claims really aren't that big of a deal. It's really until you're monetized, right? Because you put out a video and it's monetized, and there's your ads that run on your video, that those ad revenues go to you because it's your video, right? The problem is that fair use says that you can use like little, snippets of stuff, or use things for review, use things for educational purposes, use things for to do basically what we do, talking about movies and reviewing those things and stuff, and even reaction videos, because you're talking about those movies, you're promoting those movies. As long as you do that. Now, that's why people ask all the time, well, why don't you show us the screen when you do your watch parties?
You get claimed.
Because I get not only do I get a claim, but like I've only had 2 strikes, and they both come from just doing watch parties because the music was playing in the background. So
you got 2 strikes already?
I have had, well, in the last year, they've gone away. They've gone away. But that's a whole other story. But the thing is, you get these things called content claims, and that's where the companies say Warner Brothers, and Warner Brothers is the only one who basically ever does it. Disney has never come after me for this. But here's what happens: is say Warner Brothers says, "Oh, Truth, you did a reaction video to Wonder Woman 84, to the trailer for Wonder Woman 84. That's our movie.
Yeah,
we're not going to take into understanding that you're doing a review of it." Yeah. No, we're not going to do that. We're just going to say that we own that and you showed it on your channel, so now we want the revenue. So here's a copyright claim on Truth's video, right? And on your channel. Now, it doesn't hurt you. It's not a strike, right? It doesn't take down your channel or anything. All it does is it means that every bit of revenue, which, for us smaller channels, it's like 2 cents, 3 cents.
Especially my very, very small channel.
Right? So any bit of revenue that would have gone to you goes to Warner Brothers now. Sure. Okay. Now, what you can do is you can file a dispute, which I tell anybody, if you get a claim, file a dispute. Do it. You file a dispute. What happens is you give all your information, and then you put in there why the video contains what it contains. Yeah. Now, look, Truth, it took me like 3 years to finally find the right verbiage that most of them get dismissed for me. Right. Wow. Yeah. Because they just want to argue semantics with you. And so you get one chance, baby, to get that claim removed. Okay. And so you dispute it and you send that off to YouTube. Who do you think, if you got one person over here saying they're using our copyrighted materials, and you got another guy over here saying, yeah, but it's fair use and I should be able to use according to the law, and and these people make a claim on it and you dispute it, who do you think that dispute should go to? Truth. Should that go to YouTube maybe, or
Absolutely.
like a third party, right? A third party. So a third party could look at it and go, okay, this guy says that he's using the copyrighted material, but the guy using the copyrighted material, yeah, you know what? He is using it for his own financial gain. He's not using it with fair use. He's not doing it the legal way. Maybe he's broadcasting somebody else's whole TV show. Yep. Like you can't say, well, yeah, Wonder Woman 84. Yeah, I was just reviewing it and show the whole movie. Right? You can't do that, right? That's illegal. So the third party should be the one to look at it and make the decision. Yes, that's fair use. No, we're going to deny the claim on Truth's video, and hey, you get your revenue back, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes a company will do a revenue sharing thing, and I'm more apt to be okay with that when they say, we understand that you created this video, you made this video. Because look, it sucks, man, to put a lot of time into a video, effort into a video, all these things. And then they say, we're just going to take away your video out from underneath you and take everything away. When you're the one who created all that, and you're putting the commentary to it. So I'm more apt to let that one go. Yeah. But even some of those I fight. But the thing is that how it's actually set up, Truth, is Warner Brothers makes the claim on your video. You have to say why, and you have to say no because it's perfectly legal that I do this. And you know who that goes to? Warner Brothers.
And not
Warner,
you.
Not me, not YouTube, not anybody. Warner Brothers sees my reasoning, and then Warner Brothers has to say, well, see, do we still want the money from Enosh's video? Or do we want to keep the money from or Truth's video? Do we want to give Truth that little bit of money that he was going to get, that maybe like if it hits like, 1,000 views or something, maybe he gets $5 or something, like, do we want to give him that money or do we want to keep that $5 for us?
What do you think?
Denied. Right. And then it's denied. People ask me all the time, like, Enosh, why did you take the trailer out of this or that? Like when we did Fandom, right? When we watched the Batman trailer, we did it a second time where we broke it down piece by piece. And the reason why I did that is because I knew that first time more than likely it was going to get claimed, and it sure enough got claimed. And so they came after me for it, and I had to have them clip it out of my video so that I could actually keep the revenue for my own video.
Sure.
Right. That's the same situation, folks, is that you have a guy making a claim against the company this time. Right. And the company says, oh yeah, we'll do a third-party investigation. But all of the stuff still comes back to us, and we're going to make the final decision on everything. And we got the person working for us.
Yeah.
Okay. It's lopsided, folks. It's not fairly put. And the thing is, and then you want to go even further. You want to take it a step further, and you want to say that that the guy somehow is not cooperating. Well, let's read on. Shall we read on? Truth.
Let's read on.
Yes, let's read on here as to what is said next, because it says he had another person on the line as a witness we weren't made aware of. I told him I needed to have a rep on the line as security for myself.
Yeah.
He tried to keep me on the line, but I told him I would need to consult my team before proceeding.
Which is smart.
Can we jump on a call to discuss soon? Best, Ray.
There you go.
Folks, that is reasonable. That is what you should do.
Yeah.
That is smart. I don't understand
the hate and the like. I don't get it. He's doing everything correctly.
Absolutely.
So I don't understand this whole hate towards the guy.
I don't understand. I don't know if this is AHK or it's just AHK, but this ain't rocket science. WB tried to discredit Ray, saying he wouldn't speak to their investigator. Ray returned with proof, times, and dates that he did speak with the investigator. That's the point here, guys.
Yeah.
Like, that's the point. He talked to the investigator. He was working with the investigator. And what happened? What happened? They tried to keep him on the line. It said that they had a surprise witness. They had somebody that they were not made aware of. Dude, listen, attorneys try this crap all the time. Okay. They try to pull a sneak thing on you and like, oh, we got somebody here that you weren't expecting. Who do you think that person was? Truth. They try to make them face their accusers, don't they?
Yeah.
Right? or face the people talking about like supporting your abuser. I wonder who this surprise person, the surprise witness might have been. Who would have been a witness to this, Truth? Ooh. That they were not made aware of. I'm not saying I know.
I'm not saying I think we all know, but I don't know. Who could it be? Huh? So interesting.
Yeah. Right. And so the thing, maybe the person that he didn't name in his tweet.
Yeah.
Ooh. Could it be? Maybe the person that he named their position, but not their name.
Maybe.
Ooh. Right. Okay. So the thing is like everybody gets it. Warner Brothers is trying to discredit Ray. Jody's Corner and Jody's Mouthpiece went full Karen twins on YouTube, right?
Did they?
I didn't see it, but that's an awesome statement. Black Star Afro. That's an awesome statement. Jody's Mouthpiece went full Karen twins on YouTube. I want to write a song now with that wording in there. Then Jody's Corner and Jody's Mouthpiece went full Karen twins on YouTube.
I mean, they kind of are.
Oh my gosh, that is so awesome. But see, okay, but this isn't his word against Warner Brothers' word. That's not what this is. That's not what this part is. All the other stuff, yes, is investigation, and he's got to supply the proof.
Yeah.
I'm all for waiting for the fact, Jero 96, but this is him proving that Warner Brothers is being deceitful about him not cooperating. Times, dates, email, who he sent it to.
Mm-hmm.
You can't. There's nothing to argue with that.
Yeah. And the fact that people are trying to argue with that is baffling. Just like you're gonna look like what is he has the evidence right there. Like, what else do you need? I think people maybe think like he made this up, like he wrote this himself. Because I don't get it.
Yeah. And see, these companies, these subsidies, right? So here's the thing to also note. These companies work as individual companies. They are responsible for themselves. So I worked for FedEx for years. I actually worked for Kinko's for years, right? I was in corporate sales. And so I sold, large deals, man, for printing and everything else. And so then when FedEx bought us, they made Kinko's. At first, it was just called FedEx Kinko's for the longest time because there were 4 operating branches of FedEx. There's FedEx Express, which was always redundant because it's Federal Express, right? And that's the overnight portion and around the world portion. And then you got FedEx Ground, right? Which is a totally different entity. I mean, it's got FedEx in the name, but it's a completely different entity. Yeah. There's FedEx Freight. And then there was FedEx Kinko's. Yeah. Okay. Now you could say, well, it's all FedEx. You work for FedEx, Enosh. Yep. But you know what? All 4 companies had different packages as far as like medical, dental, all that stuff, like pay packages, like pay scales, like all that stuff. Actually, the Express people were the only people who technically actually, well, I it takes back but the Express people work for FedEx. Right. Yeah. So the people who come up and deliver your stuff to you for Express and overnight stuff, they actually work for FedEx. The people who do ground in all the trucks, do you know that those are all those people own their own trucks? They own their own business. Like those are all what do they call them? When you do contract work basically for another company. Independent contractors, exactly. They do not. The FedEx Ground people who come to your house, the people who are like tossing stuff over your fences and don't care about your stuff, that's why FedEx gets PO'd about it, is because they don't technically, it could be any Tom, Dick, and Harry. Literally, my friend Andy did it. And like, he had a guy who owned like 4 or 5 trucks. And then he had like some guys working underneath of him, and he would just send them out. And like, Andy was a good worker, but Andy knew that there were like other guys, man, they were high-ons, they were all kinds of other stuff, but the guy just needed somebody to put a FedEx shirt on and go deliver a package, because how hard is that? Yeah. Right. But we know how hard that is. But then also there's ground. There was FedEx Freight. FedEx Freight carries large stuff, cross country and all that good stuff, right? Sure. And then there was FedEx Kinko's. The thing is that the only time anybody cared about what the others do is at reporting time. When you have to report your financials, that's what they care. They all had different CEOs. They all had different like marketing teams and people over them, and they all did different things, man. Yeah. And then at the end of the day, they ask once a year, how much money did you make?
You better have an answer.
That's what they ask. How much money did you make? Right. And unfortunately, that first year, FedEx Kinko said, well, we didn't make as much as you thought we were going to make as the 4th operating branch. And so you know what happened? Well, you know what? They brought FedEx Kinko's underneath the banner of FedEx Services, which encompassed a bunch of other stuff too, so they could prop those numbers up for the next year. And they said, yeah, we're going to call it FedEx Office now. And so they dropped the Kinko's name completely, and now it's FedEx Office. That's how things go, folks. So yeah, there's Warner Pictures, there's Warner Media, there's all this stuff, but they are not all. Everybody thinks, well, AT&T owns it all, but they report up to them. They have different leaders. Yeah. They have different people overseeing it. And that's why this matters. See, that's the things that people I don't think they don't think about. And Pat, this wasn't a direct thing to you, but this does answer your question. It says, I'm glad I was able to explain this. Can someone explain? I just saw your comment here. Aren't they the same company? That's the thing, is that these companies, they're subsidies of each other or separate companies, but all under one banner. Yeah. It's companies that own companies that own companies that own companies. And so they don't deal in the everyday stuff. It's just like the federal government. You have the federal government, and then you have the state government, and then you have the local government and stuff. And the only time those like get involved with each other are when somebody really screws up.
Something happens.
Seriously, that's how it works. Somebody has to really screw up, man.
Like Warner Brothers did with this whole Justice
exactly, and that's why stuff is happening, folks. That is what is happening, and
it's funny how people are blaming the actor instead of the studio. Why don't you put all this hate and negativity towards the studio that gave you this mess in the first place? Why are you blaming this actor who's doing the right thing? Why is he getting criticized for doing the right thing? I don't get it. It's like, why are you all like? It feels like people are on Warner Brothers payroll or something. It's just like, it's strange. Very strange.
I did not hear about this.
Jody and Andy were arguing last night. Really?
The party's over. It was fun while it lasted, but it ain't no fun no more.
That's a shame.
Aw. No, we're gonna have to get them booked on the Love Boat so that they can work things out. The Love Boat. Anyway, I'm sorry, that just caught my eye, and it's like I might have to look that up. That's kind of funny. But yeah, no, I mean, like I'm saying, there are reasons why things happen, and here's the thing. Yeah, there may be times where people can go back and forth, truth. But the point is, oh, good, I got it right. It was Ack. Awesome.
Ack.
Yeah, we are waiting and seeing, man. Jaro, we are definitely waiting and seeing. Like I said, my heart dropped into my stomach when I first saw the news that he had reportedly not participated with and cooperated with the situation. But
I didn't buy it.
Well, no, but I mean, when I first read it, Truth, I mean, I was waking up, and I saw my phone and like people message me, Truth.
Yeah.
people ask me all the time, Enosh, why are you still talking about this? Because
it's important.
Obviously I'm in this space right now, right? Like, and so the thing is, we're going to talk about it. Because it's news. It's news that's going on in entertainment and in pop culture, and obviously in something that I love, given the fact that it's Justice League news, right?
Yeah.
And now I, like it or not, I'm, I was called out. So I'm going to report on that. If I'm going to report on anything, guys, like, why wouldn't I report on this? But the thing is also, I just think if it wasn't even that, we would be talking about it, because it's an important, that's why I was talking about it before all that stuff happened to me, Truth. That's what got me in trouble, apparently, but the thing is that I just look at it like this. When you got two people going back and forth, you got to look at who seems more credible. Right. And you do have to start piecing together like the parts that are going on, because when all of the truth is finally presented, and we may never be exposed to all of it, this could be privately settled and we may not even know. Right. And really, that's the best thing, is if it is privately settled and we don't know all the look, do I want to know all the details?
Exactly.
Yes, I do. Okay.
And Warner Brothers is going to do everything in their power to make sure this doesn't see the light of day.
Oh, heck yeah.
Because I'm sure this is just like the tip of the iceberg with this. It's like, I'm sure Warner Brothers has all these little dark, gritty skeletons hiding in the closet, and it's like, look, we cannot let this out. Okay, let's just settle this real quick. Ray Fisher, what do you want? You want my wife? You want my ex? What do you
want? We'll get you anything you need, man. We'll get you just Ray. Just stop it, please. But yeah, I that's the way I look at this, Truth, is that this is important because it's part of pop culture. It's part of the stuff that we love. And at the end of the day, also, I just feel that right is right and wrong is wrong. And when I see some of this stuff happening and some of these allegations flowing around, and then when I see a company like Warner Brothers, and you hit the nail on the head, Truth, man, when you said, like, we should always believe the multi-billion-dollar company, right? Yeah. Shouldn't we always believe the multi-billion-dollar company?
Exactly.
Right. So, no, the thing is, folks, is that we live in a time. It's great that we live in a time, folks, that people are finally calling out this stuff.
Yeah.
that people are not just putting up with this anymore, that we're not just allowing people to be treated improperly. And look, that's not to say that every accusation that comes out is truthful. That's not to say that everything that's ever said is correct or is right. But I just know this: the more I see of this, I see a young man in Ray Fisher presenting evidence in a very honest and truthful way, in a way, guys, that it doesn't make any sense for him to be lying.
Yeah.
What is he going to benefit? He literally has everything to lose, Truth.
And that's what I keep saying. Like, why would he lie? You're right. Why would he lie? It doesn't make any sense. For what? For fame? He's already got it. Like, so I don't know. He's doing this because it's right. It's the right thing to do. That's it. That's it.
Yep.
It's as simple as that. It's the right thing to do.
He could literally lose everything.
Yeah. And guess what? He doesn't care. He's like, okay, fine, whatever. And that's what makes him dangerous, because he doesn't care. Well, I don't care. Take it. Go ahead, take it. I'm fine. I'm good, bro. I'm good. You're not gonna do anything to me.
I'm telling you. See that, folks. You don't hear Warner Brothers coming out and making statements like that. Like, Warner Brothers ain't putting their whole thing on the line and just saying, whatever. They've been on the defense.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, somebody told me long ago, man. I went through a divorce. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very upset for a long time. Right.
Yeah.
Because there's, anybody in a divorce, even the best of divorce, like we were able to work a lot of stuff out ourselves, but even in the best of situations, it kind of makes you wonder, like, how are you able to work some stuff out, but yet you weren't able to make your relationship work, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I was married for 10 years, and I dated her for 3 years before that. Okay. Mm-hmm. But it's amazing how you can spend that long with somebody and really not know who they are.
It's scary.
Okay. I mean, it is. And I'll be honest with you, like, Tiffany and I just celebrated our 8th anniversary back in August.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. And, I dated her for a year and a half. And I knew, like, people were like, well, Enosh, why are you getting married again? Like, you just, like, dude, you're, in your 30s, man, you can, your early 30s. Like, what was I? I was like, no, man, even before that. Cause like, I'm 40, I'll be 44 this month. And,
yeah.
Yeah, man, I can't believe it. Like, where'd the time go? Holy cow! But I feel young at heart, and I'm sitting in a room full of toys, ladies and gentlemen, with a bunch of cutouts behind me that are going to
44 is the new 24.
Absolutely. And so the thing is, folks, and I want to be truthful and honest with you guys, right? It sucks to go through a divorce. If you can make it work, look, beyond all other ramifications of it, man, you need to make it work, right?
Yeah.
I don't think anybody should handle that flippantly, but sometimes life happens to you. You can't avoid it. And that's what happened to me. But Tiffany and I have been together now for a while, and been married for 8 years. And I tell you what, I never knew that being married could be so wonderful.
Yeah.
Like, I never knew and understood, like, how important it was to have somebody that, like, supported you,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, stood with you, and, like, that you would just enjoy being around. Truth. People settle for stuff all the time. Right. Mm-hmm. And they make excuses for stuff. But even in the best situation where I thought that, like, we could work things out and stuff, and we had worked a lot of stuff out, there was still a bunch of trash that got thrown, and a lot of garbage that got thrown, and a bunch of lies that were said and stuff. And it took a while for the truth to come out. And maybe this is why I feel connected with this truth.
Yeah.
Because it took a while. Yeah. It does it.
I mean, for you.
Oh, for me. Yeah. But that's the thing, is, like, I've been through this. I've been in a situation where I've been accused of things that were absolutely ludicrous. And I literally had to go through almost a 3-year process for the truth to finally come out. Okay. Like, seriously, like, and that sucked. Yeah. But you know what? At the end of it, the truth came out. And when it came out, that was such a relief day, man. Like, I've never had a panic attack in my life. I had a panic attack. Like, I was just living on the edge, man, just trying to do what I had to do. And maybe this is too real of a moment for everybody. I don't know. But this is why people ask me why, like, I am attracted to certain stories and attracted to certain things, because look, things are what they are. Right.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I look at this situation and, like, you don't say the kind of things that he has said when you just have everything to lose like that. And somebody once told me, because I was getting very defensive, Truth. I was getting very defensive about a bunch of stuff because I knew what the truth was. Yeah. Right. And so I wanted everybody to talk to me. I wanted to get the truth out there. I wanted everybody to know. Right. It was like, I was like, get the truth out there. Put the truth out front.
No.
Listen to the truth. The truth. But the thing was that somebody once sat me down and said, Enosh, you need to keep your cool. You need to chill out. The truth will come out. But if you're constantly ranting, if you're constantly trying to defend yourself, it's going to do more harm than it is good. Because you're not going to make good decisions. You're not going to say the right thing. And that's when you say something stupid or you say something dumb and you mess it all up.
Yeah.
And I took that advice and it worked. And then somebody also gave me a quote that's supposed to be by Mark Twain, but who knows if those Mark Twain quotes are, true or not. But it just said, never defend yourself. Your friends don't need it and your enemies won't believe you anyways. And I'll tell you what, folks, once I started living by that, things started to change for me. Yeah. Things started to change a lot for me. And so when I look at this situation and I see a company, not just because they're a company, I'm not saying they're bad just because they're a company. Yeah. There's good companies, whatever. Sure. But the thing is, when I see a company go on the defensive and try to do things to undermine and like literally go to like stupid, weird places with stuff. Yeah. And then I see a young man literally put his life on the line for right in front of all of us and say, I don't care if I ever get another job again in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want the truth to come out.
And you're going to believe.
And Jaro, if he has to go back to Broadway, he said he'll do that.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you this, once this is over, I don't think that I look at it as a win or a lose for him. I think it's just going to be his life, whatever he wants it to be. And here's the thing. I think by the time this is all done, we're going to see a whole lot more of Ray Fisher.
Oh yeah.
When the truth comes out and he's vindicated, what do you think, Truth?
He's not going anywhere, because let's say Warner Brothers decides, like, you know what, we're going to replace him as Cyborg. I think there's going to be a massive backlash.
Oh,
there's going to be amongst the fandom and amongst people who are like following Ray, who are with Ray, because look, Warner Brothers doesn't have the best PR right now, and if you're going to let him go, like they don't want that smoke. And I think Warner Brothers is smart enough to know that. It's like, look, we're going to keep him around. We're going to try to sweep this under the rug as much as we possibly can. And Ray Fisher is going to be your Cyborg. But yeah, he's not going to go anywhere. And Ray Fisher knows that. Ray Fisher is holding all the cards. Like I said, I think someone said it on the chat. He's a G. Yeah. He's playing like a G. It's like, look, I'm winning either way. And I think the most important thing for him is, like what you said, is going to have vindication.
Yes.
And then that's the most important thing for Ray Fisher.
Yeah. Well, and Jaro, I agree with this, man. And he says, and the Screen Actors Guild should take care of the investigation alongside Warner, so both interests are fulfilled. I would be okay with that.
Yeah.
I would be very good with it, because that's that's
for the actors.
Their union. That's the actors union, right? I mean, that's the Actors Guild. So I mean, like, why wouldn't they? I'm surprised that they haven't gotten involved yet.
Surprisingly, yeah.
You would think you would think that they would be. And Andrew, this is an interesting thing too. But this is why I do want to, guys. I so want to have Steven back on, because Steven is such a great guy when he talks, and he just barely got to scratch the surface. And he had told me that he had kids tonight and stuff, and he was really trying to come on. And so I thank Steven again for trying to make an effort to come on.
He's awesome.
Because he's really good. And his points are just right on. But he mentioned earlier tonight, even he mentioned last night when on the vodka stream, that that was the thing, was they actually, like, Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder trusted Ray so much. And Truth, tell me what this means to you as an African American, as a black man.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Oh, you're Puerto Rican. I'm sorry. Okay. So thank you. Let's see. There's me trying to be PC. I'm still a minority. Right? There's me trying to be PC, right? There's me trying to be PC.
But Hispanic lad. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So there's me trying to be PC, right? So, but a person of color.
Sure.
There you go. Right. As a person of color, like, how does that make you feel to know that, like, they literally were giving him a chance to write his character?
Yeah.
How he felt that it should be written, given what was going on.
It's again, I don't know that much about Hollywood, but I think it's very rare that a massive production company, especially like a massive director like Zack Snyder and Academy Award-winning writer Chris Terrio, actually talk to the actor and not try to like you said, like make it like, you know, like the stereotypical black male that you see on screen, make him like, hey, what jive shaking, what's good, y'all? It's like none of that crap. It's actually.
You mean none of that Superman the movie stuff? That's one bad out.
Oh my god, I love that movie, but that part was horrendous. But yeah, I think it was like, again, it just shows why so many people love Zack Snyder and Chris Terrio. Like, they actually took the time to speak with this young man. He's like, look, like, what do you want, Ray? Like, how should we write this? What do you want your character to say or how to speak and stuff like that? And just like, again, that's like very rare. Like, you rarely see that in Hollywood. You rarely hear stories like that. And then that's why Ray Fisher is so passionate and loves Zack Snyder so much that, you know, he looks at him as a friend. It's like, damn, man, like, look, especially for like a guy who's coming off of Broadway, has no acting credentials whatsoever, a newcomer, and Zack Snyder's taking the time to talk to his kid. Come on, man, it's like a dream come true.
Man,
incredible.
Man. That's just fantastic for sure. And the bottom line is that Ray Fisher is keeping it G. Thank you, Music Man. I appreciate that, man. I really do appreciate that. And you know, you know, and that's just the thing. So also Best Lex Luthor had a good statement that I had up there for many. He says maybe he's that good of an actor, but I believe him when he says he's fine with that. You know, like when he says it's fine, take away everything. Like, you know, like I'm you know, I agree with this. I think it's going to end up getting him more roles when it comes out that he was truthful and that he stood up for what was right, or at least it should. I'll say that.
I think he's fine.
And I think Ray Fisher is going to be absolutely fine. Yeah. But also, hey, Jeff Gladfelty, $4.99 super chat. Hey, man, I appreciate that so much, man. You are awesome. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff is a great guy. He is also one of our Patreon supporters, and so thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Yep, these final statements here, and he just says, "I believe in Ray Fisher." And there you go. Tube Dude says Ray is a smart guy. That's right. We Superman fans have to stick together. Exactly. Heck yeah. And so, you know what? That's the thing. So that's why I wanted to talk about this tonight. And I appreciate all of you who joined us tonight. And I appreciate the truth. I always appreciate the truth. I tell you what, man, here, truth. You always have a place, man, on this channel, man, because I think that when you speak the truth.
Yeah, much appreciated, brother. I love it being here. Love you, the community. It's always a fun time speaking nerd stuff, and always important to talk about these issues. And always remember, Ray Fisher is the man. He's Cyborg, baby. Come on,
absolutely. So, thank you, Jeff. Respect, my friend. Thank you, Jaro. Thank you, Jack. This is great stream, Enosh and Truth.
Thank you.
And even Andrew says, I almost say even Andrew because Andrew's great. And he says, I'll always support you, Enosh, even if we disagree on stuff. And that's the point. And, you know, and like Jaro said, it's a very respectful place. That's what the Poindexter Lounge is, folks. Like, we care about this stuff. Yeah. We're all passionate about it, right? We may not all agree on stuff, but you know what? At the end of the day, let's just have a conversation. Right. Let's just have a conversation about it. So that being said, a couple of things to wrap things up. Check it out. I'm wearing my Poindexter Lounge t-shirt. And you might say, Enosh, we got to get the beauty of this, right?
Exactly. Full screen that chick.
Oh, it's a place for nerds too, baby. Ooh,
look how sexy that looks.
That's right. It's a place for nerds, and it's a place for you. And you guys can pick up this shirt as well as many others. We got all kinds of designs. We even got this design up here in the top left-hand corner. You can't read it, but it basically has all of our names, and then it says you, the nerd family. So it's got my name, Tiffany's name, the kid's name, the dog's name, and you, because you're part of our nerd family. And so we got all those. And check this out. We're gonna be debuting. We're gonna oh yes, Truth. We're gonna be debuting 2 new t-shirts tonight on the next stream, because guess what? We're coming back. That's right, in about an hour. So at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, me and my friend Johnny will be back for another 2 cents on nonsense.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna take down another Mike Zero video. We're talking about crazy, and guess what? It's DC related because now he's saying Gal Gadot's gonna be in Star Wars.
Oh, so you know it's true.
Oh yeah, is it Gal?
News.
Look, truth. You tell me. You're the truth and all. Is it Gal Gadot or Gal Gadot?
I think it's Gal Gadot.
See, I thought that at first too, and that's what I said for a long time. And then people started correcting me that it was Gal Gadot. And then I've been calling her that, and then just recently, like on Fandom, they were all calling her Gal Gadot.
It's sort of like the Ra's al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul.
Oh
like,
my
which
gosh!
one is it?
Well, we all know that's Raz. I will not accept the Ra's. That's weird.
No. It's Ra's. I disagree. I disagree. Where's the disagreement?
Oh, well, there's that button. That button kicks you out right there. I got a button for you. I got a button for you. Yeah, no, I always had, but yeah, now he is saying that the Gal Gadot or Gadot from whatever side you're on is going to be in there along with Keanu Reeves and Brie Larson.
Oh, and
you're going to want to tune in.
Maybe?
Yes. Oh, maybe. Everybody's going to end up being it, man, by the time it's done. But yeah, so come back at 9 p.m. So go get a bite to eat. Come back, have some popcorn, and have some fun with us because we're going to do that. And on that stream, we're going to debut 2 new T-shirts that are related to Doomcock and Mike Zero.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. So you're going to check that out. Also on that stream, we're going to give this guy away finally. And this is to all of anybody who's given a super chat this month, the month of August. We're a little bit late because I dropped off the earth there for a couple of days. But so yeah, for anybody who gave a super chat or gave or is part of the Patreon, you're in the running for this guy right here, and we appreciate you. And so every month we have a giveaway that just gives a little bit back. So thank you to all of our Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. You're fantastic. I appreciate all of you. I am just overwhelmed and just amazed that you guys give to the channel. And so it blows me away, but I'm so thankful for it, you guys. Anything you give, I never expect anything from anybody. I'm thankful for you guys. And so also coming up, probably after this weekend, I'll probably get the membership thing together. Just got to make a video for that because they require you make a membership video for it. Awesome. So I'll be doing that, and we'll have memberships available to you guys. And then of course, don't forget this guy's searing blue eyes. There. Are they blue? They look.
No,
blue,
I think they're green.
Are they green?
Yeah, I think one's bigger than the other.
Yeah, it's blue, green, one's bigger than the other. Something's going on there. Yeah. So come back for this right here. 2 cents on nonsense. Gal Gadot, Keanu for episode 10. That's right. That's what they're saying for episode 10. And we're going to play a little game at the end of a little game that I like to call Versus, where we're going to play a game of Mike Zero's. It's like a Sweet 16 kind of thing of Mike Zero's thumbnails. Of because he's got everybody in him, and so we're gonna pick a winning thumbnail. So come back because we're gonna play that game, folks, and have some fun. Johnny will be joining us here in about an hour, and
so go watch it, people.
Yeah, so go watch it, man. Come back and watch it for sure. Truth, you're awesome, man. Truth, tell them where they can find you and they can support you.
You can find me at the Truth 31 on YouTube, and you can find me at Truth 31 Twitter and Truth 31 on Instagram. And don't forget, tomorrow I'll be streaming with my boys, Ethan and Jo, breaking down Justice League. It's gonna be a fun time. You don't want to miss it. And and we're gonna talk nerd stuff. So yeah, if you want to come in, come in.
Awesome. Thank you, Jaro. I appreciate it. Or Jaro 96, Jaro 96. Love these streams and how interactive you are, man. I try, man. That's Gavin. You ain't coming from my belt, dude. That's right, because I got this belt right here, you see, brother, and this belt is staying right around my waist because I need it to keep my pants up, dude. You ain't doing that because if you do that, it's going to expose a lot more than what you're gunning for there, brother. You're going to get a whole eye full, brother, and I don't think you want that because what you going to do when my pants body runs wild?
You don't want that smoke.
No, you don't want that. I'm just glad, Tiffany wants that. See, Tube Dude, that's what I heard her say too. You see how I just threw that joke in there? Just like, hey, we're going next one. Look, I would love to see Gal Gadot in Star Wars. I'd be fine with that. Like, there's a lot of things that Mike Zero says that I'd be absolutely fine with. But
wonderful fan fiction. Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. But see, Tube Dude, I have actually heard her say Gal Gadot as well. That's why I'm so freaking confused. I don't know anymore.
We gotta figure it out.
Jordan, we can definitely talk about that, man. I would love to have you design a shirt for the channel for sure. So just always remember, guys, that the Poindexter Lounge is a place for nerds. That's right. It's a place for you and me and all my friends like the Truth here and everybody else. All of you guys are like family for sure. And I thank all of you guys so much for your support. Chan Thorpe, thank you so much. We agree to support Nosh and Ray. Perfect combo. See, that's the thing, man. It's like we're all together in this, man. We're all together in this. We ain't backing down. That's
Super
right.
Friends.
Like the song says, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. Yeah, it's bad boy for life.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Will Smith,
you better back. What was it? I'm coming to Enosh. There can only be one Superman fan. You're gonna get put down, brother. Let me tell you something, dude. You're gonna get put down. All right, man. That's right. We are family. So, anyways, thank you guys again. You guys are awesome. Remember, come back in about an hour, and we're gonna do this whole thing all over again. Because as Fatal J said, I got to pull that clip. As Fatal J says, I am the king of the internet, the king of stream, ladies and gentlemen. You love me. Everybody loves me. I love myself, but not as much as I love you. So, guys, stay nerdy and hey, I can't wait to see what happens next, Truth.
Oh, it's gonna be amazing.
Oh my gosh,
it's gonna be amazing.
I just can't wait, man, to see what happens next. And you know what? All those, I have a good feeling that anybody who comes up against Ray in the end, this is going to be their fate. And I just leave you once again with the humbling and I think very accurate words of Mr. Matt Jarbo. Until next time, Truth, you stay cool, you stay nerdy wherever which side you're on. You stay nerdy. And hey, let's go join his stream tomorrow. What time is that again?
That's at 2 p.m.
2 p.m. Let's just throw some support. I may still be at church because I got a big outdoor service that I'm doing tomorrow. But but I will I'll throw you some love and support anyways. I'll throw you a like at least if I can't listen in, and I'll definitely watch it on the replay because I definitely want to hear your thoughts on that. So guys,
appreciate it.
Like I said, this is for the lovers. This is for the lovers and their lovers spat apparently that we heard about a little while ago, and with Andy and Jody. I almost want to make a little montage. You know, I gotta for the first time I might have to watch one of their videos if they got into it that heavily, man. Holy crap.
Yeah, I'm tearing up right now.
I know. I could it be the end of an era?
No.
Like if I just didn't want to go back there, I'd totally make a video. No, my gosh. All right, guys.
Why?
So for all of those people and for I think Warner Brothers Pictures at least and these two fine gentlemen who apparently have dropped out of love. Here is Matt Jarbo. Until next time, I'm Enosh, and stay nerdy.
They're trying. Let me just break it down for you like this. I can summarize everything up in simply 2 words. You lost.